Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 115 of Dragon Ball Controversial. That's right, people. We're calling it Dragon Ball Controversial because it seems as though with each and every week nowadays, it's some huge controversy where everybody's losing their mind on both sides of the spectrum. Either they absolutely love the episode or they freaking despise it because of what's going down. Now, with this week's episode, it takes place from where last week left off. We have the fused Kefla and Kefla versus Son Goku in his God mode. Now, to be honest with you, with last week's episode, and I even made a video, and I still stand by what I said regarding, okay, even you could tell when Goku was fighting Kefla that he's out of it, you know what I'm saying? And even in this week's episode, they kind of go back and forth with it, which kind of started to make me like, huh? Because there's certain lines that are saying, yeah, Goku, he still hasn't achieved all of his stamina. Yeah, he's still, getting it together. Then there's some lines where they're saying, oh no, Goku, he got all his stamina back. That's why he was able to go in blue. So this episode was kind of back and forth with it from different people's perspective. Champa is saying one thing, other people are saying another. So it was just kind of like, what the heck is going on? Because with last week's episode, I stated mainly that the big reason why Kefla is able to give Goku a run for his money is because even though he's in the God mode, he still is completely wrecked. He just fought Jiren a few minutes ago, right? So that was one of the reasons why I was saying like, okay, maybe that's why the red God mode is kind of getting wrecked, because Goku's just completely worn out. He got his ass kicked by a foe that was way stronger than him, Jiren. But with this week's episode, there were some indications that Goku has regained a lot of his stamina and energy again. At the very least, he was able to go blue, which takes a big toll on you if you don't have enough stamina. So Goku has enough to get into that mode, and he even says in this episode, I'm done playing, I'm done holding back. So you could even throw into an argument with last week's episode when Kefla was kind of blitzing through Goku that he was even holding back, on top of the fact that he was, weakened and, worn out from his fight with Jiren. So there was a lot of arguments for last week's episode. This week's episode, though, for the most part, he got most of his stamina back, right? He's able to go blue, so he's up there now. Why was he still struggling, or at the very least getting a run for his money with Kefla, even going into the Kaioken times 10 or 20 or whatever versus Kefla? Should have been no match. And honestly, towards the end of the episode, while it was very hype and exciting, Goku once again going into Ultra Instinct, I'm like, bro, why does it need to go to that point? And by the way, I'm gonna say one thing. If Kefla gives Goku even a slither of a problem next week while he's in Ultra Instinct mode, no excuses. Nothing you're gonna tell me, nothing is coming to my brain to say, oh yeah, there's a reason for it. Ultra Instinct should be, if that is a mode and that is a maneuver that even the gods are kind of like, holy shit, like Beerus continues to be like, oh damn, like, Goku's really catching up. There's no excuse why Kefla should be able to do anything. But that's next week's episode. As of right now, we're talking about this week's episode. And again, I'm still kind of bothered by the fact that it takes Goku to go into a mode that he just got a couple episodes ago, episode 109 and 110, to be able to put Kefla at bay. I'm thinking like, okay, maybe the Red God mode, acceptable on top of all the other facts of Goku's holding back, Goku's tired. There's a lot of things where you could argue that. But the blue mode and then Kaioken, that should have annihilated Kefla immediately. There should have been no excuse, because regardless of what you want to say, at the end of the day, she's not even in the God mode, so she can't even sense Goku's ki, which makes it even that much more difficult to fight somebody that is using God ki. You know what I'm saying? So there's absolutely no excuse. I mean, it looks cool as shit, right? But we do have to look at it, especially from my standpoint, from a reviewer standpoint, in a critical aspect, right? And critically, it's just the power scaling is, come on, bro. Like, we argued this for a lot of those episodes that was in between the announcement of the Tournament of Power leading into the Tournament of Power when Goku was fighting Krillin, and, Krillin was pushing him back and shit. There was always the argument, Goku's holding back, Goku's holding back. In this episode, he even stated, I'm not holding back anymore. It was also stated that he regained tons of his stamina. There should have been no excuses. Goku, Kaioken, Super Saiyan Blue should have bodied Kefla. You could argue, hey, well, she couldn't withstand his ki and the Kamehameha. That's why she did a quick trick and went behind him and shit like that. But honestly, there should have been no excuses for Kefla to be able to nothing. Goku was in a whole different plateau at that point with that power against legendary Super Saiyan 2 or whatever the case may be. Even if it's Super Saiyan 3, it still should absolutely be nothing compared to that level and all the stamina, almost all of it anyway. Maybe you could argue it's not completely, but almost all of his stamina. He's not holding back. No excuses. So definitely I'm like, there's no excuse and no defense for that matter for why Kefla was able to keep up against Goku. Did it look cool as shit? Did some of the art look awesome? Yeah, but on a critical standpoint, it just doesn't make sense at this point. Other aspects of the episode that I want to talk about is it's Potara Bonanza. You get Potara. You get Potara. Hey, motherfucker back there in the wheelchair with the broken arm and the broken legs, you getting Potara too, motherfucker. Everybody's like going crazy over Potara because they see, well, it's all fair game. And one of the arguments that a lot of people had with what's going on in these episodes of Dragon Ball Super, especially with what's going on with Kefla, whatever, that's cheating. The Potara is cheating. Now, it is a reason. It does feel half-assed, but it's definitely a reason, okay, why it's going through. It was illegal. In all honesty, Kefla and Universe 6 right there should have been, if not obliterated, at the very least, Kefla should have been disqualified because that was against the rules. But since Zeno deems it to be cool and awesome, they're letting it slide, which again, it gives a reason why they didn't get out there, because it's like, yeah, they did cheat, but Zeno's fine with it. So the Grand Priest is like, well, the little toddler back there thinks it's cool, so we're gonna let it fly, okay? It's fine. The toddler thinks it's alright back there. So there's the reasoning behind it. It's kind of like, hey, whatever, you know, we want to have some cool shit in this tournament, and we want to find any reason as to why. For that matter, then why did they even announce that to begin with about no items? A lot of things is just kind of like, as things progress, it's really starting to make me think like, what's the point of no killing allowed if Zeno is supposedly obliterating universes? You know what I'm saying? That there should be no reason as to why there's no killing allowed when Zeno's gonna kill these motherfuckers anyway. Likewise with the accessories. If you're gonna allow them anyway, then why put that rule to begin with? Honestly, it's just a little bit all over the place. I did like the idea though. I believe it was Supreme Kai told Beerus, and Beerus was behind, of having 17 and 18 fuse in order to, like, you know, become a powered up warrior. I really thought it was actually gonna go down, to be honest with you, because there was mumblings, and I think there was even some fake screenshots, which could have been the producers behind Dragon Ball Super just kind of fucking with the fans a little bit with all the fake theories and fake spoilers out there, whatever, that, yeah, 17 really are gonna, you know, 17 and 18 are gonna fuse and shit like that. And then they said, nah, never mind, it's too risky, we'll lose 2 at the price of 1, so let's not do it. So I thought that was a little bit of an interesting thing, and it honestly got me hyped. Like, I would be more hyped for that than Vegito at this particular point, because we've seen Vegito and they nerfed him with the whole, you know, hour thing now, and on top of that, like, Vegito's cool as shit. I would love to see an Android 35, you know what I'm saying? That sounded sick as shit. So a bit disappointed that we didn't get to see that as well. It's like, hey, but we all see all the other universes are getting hit to the Potara and trying to use it. Those couple of crusties didn't get to use it. I was kind of like, huh? What's going on here? On top of that, a couple of extra things that was going on. We still have the Vegeta versus Topo fight. I really wish we would get more focus in on it, because we get a couple of minutes here or there. We see Vegeta got out of that arm fucking grappling thing. I really think it's interesting to see Topo's way of fighting. I like Topo's way of fighting. He's like a big old wrestler or some shit. And Vegeta, he got out of it in the end, kind of gave him a quick 1-2 and shit like that. So interesting stuff there. I really would like more focus on Vegeta and Topo. And aside from that, we also got Gohan and Piccolo versus those Namekian. I would like more screen time on that. Honestly, I think that they are devoting, and it's been for a while now, but they are definitely, because of his popularity, devoting almost all screen time, or majority of it, to Goku, when we have some other interesting stuff. A fusion of 17 and 18 would be cool. We even see in this episode more of the badassery of 17, which I think right now, a lot of us are excited about 17. Like, when he saw 18 about to get clobbered, and he jumped in and grabbed dude's arm, it's like, I want more focus on 17. He is fucking cool as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't realize how much I missed Android 17 in the Dragon Ball series until this tournament, when he's just kicking ass and shit like that. So what I'm saying is definitely, and that's probably why it's backfiring as well, because we're starting to get all these crazy plot holes and things that don't make sense. Let's focus on Goku. Let's get back to Gohan and Piccolo. Let's get back to that Vegeta versus Topo fight that looks cool as shit. A lot of people, even Frieza, he's just kind of standing there watching the fight. There's so many other people that I'll be like, I'd be interested in seeing what they're doing aside from solely focusing on Goku and this fight with Kefla. That honestly is just at this point not really making much sense. It should not take the max power that Goku has, Ultra Instinct, to take out these two newbies. No matter what excuse, because there's no excuse at this point where they're back and forth of, does Goku have all of his stamina back or not? Regardless, he's Super Saiyan Blue. He said he's not playing around. He should have taken out Kefla. So definitely, this episode was just a bit too much. It was like, there's no excuse. Kind of curious what you guys think about all of this, though. For starters, what do you think about Goku Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken still not being enough to take out Kefla? You think it's BS? You think maybe Goku still hasn't recovered all his stamina yet? That's why Kefla was able to do it. I mean, you could only other argument you could have, I guess, is like a combination of Goku's not completely recovered from his fight with Jiren, on top of if you add the fact that maybe there's some magical power or some bullshit about the legendary Super Saiyan ability that Kale had to begin with going into Kefla that allows them to pull all this BS. I mean, still doesn't really make much sense to me, but your overall thoughts on that fight thus far? Do you think that it's justified that it takes Goku to go into this mode he just learned a few episodes ago to take down these two newbies? And your thoughts on Vegeta versus Topo going on. Who do you think is going to win that? I mean, I imagine Vegeta getting the win, right? Hopefully. He's not even getting much screen time, but I'm assuming that he's going to be able to get the W against Topo. And 17, 18, Piccolo, Gohan. Do you think that they deserve more screen time opposed to we've just been getting non-stop Goku, Goku, Goku? And your overall thoughts of all this. That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, bow. Have an awesome day. And remember, anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day.